Hi guys, welcome to the Cooking with CB Foods channel. I'm Chef Charissa and I'm from Pink Apron, Jamaica. And today I'm supposed to have a sous chef somewhere around. Izzy!
Hi guys, I'm Isabel and people know me as Izzy.
And today we're going to be making pork nuggets with honey mustard sauce.
Stop! Remember to hit the red button down below.
And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at I Love CB Foods and Pink Apron JA. You bring the people, we bring the food. So this is our first video and we're a little bit nervous, so I think we should play a game, maybe an icebreaker.
Okay.
Let's go outside. Okay, Izzy, so I want them to get to know us a little bit better, so let's start by playing a game.
Okay, what's the game called?
The game is called If I Were a... Alright, so what you're gonna do, you're gonna grab a paper from here and you're gonna ask me a question and then I'll take one out and I'll ask you one.
Sure.
Let's start. Here you go.
If you were a fruit, what fruit would you be?
That's hard. I would probably be a maybe a passion fruit. Have you ever had a passion fruit?
Yeah.
That's my favorite fruit because it's nice and sweet and sour. You know, it just tastes good. Yeah. My turn. If you were an animal, what would you be?
I would be a horse because that's my favorite animal and I'm learning how to ride one.
Cool. Your turn.
If you were a leaf, what leaf would you be?
A leaf. That's very specific. I really like the monstera leaf. Do you know what that one is? It's like a pretty green leaf and it has little holes in it. I like that one. Sweet. It's my turn again. Let's see. If you were a flower, what would you be?
I would be a rose.
A rose? Why a rose?
Because it's pretty and it smells nice.
That's true. I like that. Your turn.
Hey, no peeping.
Sorry.
If you're a sauce, which sauce would you be?
Let me think. I would probably be an aioli.
What's an aioli?
So aiolis are, well, I know you're not into sauces, but you'd like this one. An aioli is basically like a mayo-based sauce and you can just flavor it however you want. It goes good with every single thing. Yeah, steak, breakfast, lunch, dinner, you name it. Speaking of food, I think I'm starting to get a little bit hungry. How about you, Izzy?
Yeah.
Should I go in the kitchen and whip up something?
Sure.
Let's go. Okay, Izzy, let's get cooking. So today we're going to be using the pork tenderloin. Have you ever heard about that cut of pork?
No.
So it's actually located between the shoulder and the hip of the pig. What's really nice about this cut is it's very lean, which means it doesn't have a lot of fat and it cooks really easy. Okay, so parents, when you buy this in the supermarket, of course you're going to buy Copperwood pork because that's the best pork out there in Jamaica. What you want to do, there might be some fat along the edges or some silver skin. So what you want to do is use your knife and go between the silver skin and the fat and the actual meat, and you're gonna just remove those little pieces from the pork, because what happens is it tends to make it very chewy if you leave it on it. So I'm just gonna take off those little pieces of fat. A little fat is okay though, because that just adds to the juiciness, but the silver skin is what you really want to take off. Okay, so up next, we are going to cut this into nugget sizes. Okay, Izzy, what size nuggets do you tend to like?
Any size.
Any size? Okay, so what we're gonna do today then, we're gonna do a medium size cut for these, because they're easy to eat. So let's do the first one together, and then I'm gonna give it to you. So you can just put your hand on mine, and just be very gentle, tuck these fingers over here, just like that. And it's all yours now. Here you go. Take your time, watch your fingers. Perfect. That looks good. And of course, parents, you need to, be there with your kids when you're done. I don't suggest that you let them do this by themselves. So parental supervision is advised. And so when you cut in, remember the other hand that does not have the knife, remember to try and tuck your fingers. So what they taught us is that you put the bear in the cave. So your thumb is like the little bear, and you're gonna tuck it in here and then put your fingers here and cut along that. So in the event of the knife slipping, you don't cut your fingers. Okay, so let's get to seasoning. So the first thing I have here is our Pink Apron all-purpose rub.
What if you don't have Pink Apron all-purpose rub?
If you don't have that, all you can basically use is some garlic powder all-purpose, onion powder, whatever you have around the kitchen. You just want your pork to taste really good and flavorful. So you can add a little bit of this in here. Let me help you. Okay, and the next thing I have here, this is just an all-purpose seasoning. You can buy that at any supermarket, really. Here you go, Izzy. You can add a little bit of this in there. And then the last thing here is garlic powder. And then over here, I have a little bit of olive oil or any vegetable oil, really. Just gonna sprinkle that on here, and that will just help the seasoning to stick to the meat a little better. And this is the fun part. Now you have to get your hands all dirty and just rub all that seasoning all around the pork. Okay, Izzy, this is looking good. So guys, if you're doing this at home, what you want to make sure is that all the spices are incorporated throughout all the different pieces of meat. It's gonna smell really nice. I wish we could eat it right now, but we can't. We have to wait. We have a couple more steps to go. This looks perfect, Izzy. Okay guys, remember to use a little bit of oil when you're using a dry rub to just to make sure that the seasoning incorporates throughout all of the meat. Izzy, this looks really good. All done?
Yep.
Okay, let's wash our hands because remember we just dealt with meat. So after meat, we're gonna go over to our breading station, but we don't want any cross-contamination, so we have to wash our hands really well. Okay, Izzy, so let's get to breading. So, first rule for breading anything you're frying is dry, wet, dry.
Okay.
Right? So, our first dry thing for today is gonna be cornstarch and some flour. And then, guess what this is?
That's milk.
Yeah, and this is our wet. So if you have eggs, you can use eggs, milk, coconut milk if you're vegan. And then the last dry is panko. Do you know what panko is?
No.
It's a Japanese breadcrumb. It gives the best crunchiness, in my opinion.
Why do you have some seasonings?
Oh yeah, so this is a little more all-purpose. What I like to do is put a little bit in our panko, just so you have a little extra flavor on the outside. So I'm just gonna add a little bit here, and you can just use your hands and mix it all around in there.
Oh, the panko feels like...
What does it feel like?
Feels kind of like bird food.
Like bird food. I mean, I've never felt bird food before, but that sounds like a thing.
Oh, like at the zoo.
That looks perfect.
At the zoo when you're feeding the bird.
I've never done that. I should try that one of these days. That sounds like fun. Okay, so what do you want to do? You want to start with the dry things and let me deal with the wet?
Sure.
So we don't mess up our hands? Okay, so first thing you're gonna do, you're gonna throw a couple pieces of the pork into the dry. Remember guys, this is flour and cornstarch. So we're just gonna put our pork in here.
I'm gonna
start with,
yeah,
that's perfect. And what you want to do is coat it completely. So make sure that the flour and cornstarch covers all of your meat. Yeah,
like this.
And then you can throw it in here. Perfect. So I'm just gonna do the same thing, try and get the milk to coat it. And after this, I'm gonna throw it into our panko. That looks good. And when it's in the panko, same thing again, just you want to get a nice even coat on the pork. So at the end, it should look something like this. And you're just gonna throw these into a bowl until we're ready to fry everything at once. All right.
There's 3 pieces with
Oh, thank you very much. So remember, try and get an even coat on all the pieces of pork. Perfect. This is gonna be so yummy. Ooh, yeah. Alright, so in the meantime, what I'm gonna do is get our fryer going. Heat up your oil to maybe anywhere between 325 to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And then you're just gonna deep fry these. After.
Can you use cornflakes?
You definitely can use cornflakes. That would actually be really nice. What you might want to do though is maybe run the cornflakes through a food processor so they're super fine in size, and it should be a nice, I feel like that could taste really good. It would give you a nice sweet and salty balance. Yeah, we should try that next time.
Sure.
Okay, so now that we're all done here, we're gonna jump over to frying. Remember guys, if you don't have a fryer at home, it's fine. You can use your pot, fill it up about halfway, heat the oil to 350, and you should be good to go. All right, Izzy, so let's get rid of these stuff. I'm gonna throw them in the sink behind us, and then you can go ahead and wash your hands. Okay, Izzy, we're almost done. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use our deep fryer, and I'm gonna ask you if you could just take a couple of those pieces and put them in a basket. Be very careful. Remember, parents, Please supervise your kids if they're going to be doing the frying. Alright, you can put about maybe 6 pieces. That looks good. Perfect. Maybe one more and then we can drop them in. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower this fryer basket in and allow these guys to fry up nicely. So once the pork is dropped into the oil, you should hear a nice little sizzle, small little popping sounds. You hear it, Izzy?
Yeah.
Yep. And they're starting to get nice and golden brown. Once they're golden brown, then you can take them out and they should be ready to go. The internal temperature for pork when it's cooked is 145. So if you have a thermometer, you can just stick it in there, test it, and that way you know for a fact that your pork is done and good to go. Yeah.
What if you don't have a thermometer?
Boy, Izzy, you're gonna have to hope for the best. I do it. What you can actually do though, guys, once it's golden brown on the outside, you can just cut it. And the thing with pork tenderloin, it's actually done when it's slightly pink. It might be like very light pink in color, and that's actually okay. And yeah, it should be good. Once it's golden brown on the outside, cook it. I'd say cook it for about 3 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes, and you should be good to go, especially because it's smaller cuts of meat. Beautiful. How does that look? That looks pretty golden brown to me.
Yeah.
Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna stick them on this plate. What I've done is I lined it with some paper towel just in case there's excess oil so it can drain off. So we're gonna just allow this to drain a little bit. If you're at home, you can use a slotted spoon to take it out of the oil just so it's a bit safer for you, so the oil can drain off. And then watch your fingers. Just gonna throw these pieces right here. Perfect, and you can go ahead and load up the basket again. Perfect. Remember, parents, making this at home is so much easier, honestly, and it's a lot healthier. It doesn't, as you can see, it's just straight meat that we're using. There are no fillers in it, nothing like that. And what's a good tip as well, if you want to make snacks ahead of time for your kids, you can actually prep these, all the breading things from before, like on a Sunday, and you can actually freeze it in small bags. And when you're ready to use it, just pull it out, stick it in the fridge overnight, and then you can fry it the next day, and it will be fresh and yummy. That's good?
Yeah.
That's perfect. So let's drop these in. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah, this looks really good. Alright, let's drain off the oil again. Then we're going to carefully throw these onto our plate. Don't fall. They smell nice.
Yeah, they do.
Mmm.
Those look so crunchy.
Oh yeah, that's that panko for you.
And I normally don't eat chicken nuggets.
But these are even better because they're pork nuggets.
Oh,
Have you ever had pork nuggets?
No.
First time for everything, guys. Trust me, you want to make this at home, it's going to be the best thing you've ever had. Okay, I'm going to drop the last ones now. Okay, guys, so now that we're all done here, let's jump over into our sauce. All right, ready to make our sauce? Okay, so today we're going to make a honey mustard sauce. So what we have here, Izzy?
Honey, barbecue sauce, mayo, and mustard.
Perfect. So I'm going to ask you if you can just start by putting some mayo in this big bowl here. You can probably put all of it, I would say. Now that looks good. That's perfect. All right, I can take that from you. Then you can go ahead and add some barbecue sauce. You can use the same spoon.
Okay.
And dump that all in there. The measurements. So guys, I don't really use measurements, but I will put it below. You can just look in the description box and it will all be there. So we have mayo. Okay, so you can probably use about, I'd say like a third of that. So I'll tell you when to stop. You can just pour. That's good. Perfect. Let me grab that from you. How it tastes? Good?
I like honey.
Nice and sweet? I love honey too. And then this is the star ingredient, or mustard. So yeah, maybe about
All of it?
Yeah, you can put all of it. And then what we'll do is we'll whisk it together, taste it, see if we're there yet, and then if anything, we can add more things. That looks good. Beautiful. I can take that from you as well.
Whisk it.
And now you're gonna switch over to your whisk and try and whisk all of that together. I would say maybe about 1 part mayo to an equal part of mustard, and then maybe half that of barbecue sauce. And then depending on how sweet you like your sauce, you can just add your honey to your judgment. That's the truth. But I think this should be perfect now. Let's just use a different finger here. That's good. Okay, let me get a bowl and we're going to transfer it over and then we can dig in. So you can just pour that right into this little bowl. I can take that from you. Okay guys, so as you can see, we're all done. This was a super easy recipe. It took us what, less than 30 minutes? This is something that you can do for your kids before school. As I said, you can prep it on a Sunday ahead of time, freeze it, and you have nuggets for the whole week for your kids, because you know kids like something nice and crispy and light to eat during the week. And there you have it guys. This is our Copperwood pork nuggets and our honey mustard sauce. Izzy, you want to go ahead and try some?
Sure.
That's crunchy. It's good? See, as you guys can see, Izzy loved it. So I'm pretty sure you and your family are going to love it as well. So what you can do for us is just like, comment, and share this with a friend. And if you tried it at home, comment, let us know. If you have any questions, feel free to DM us on Instagram at ILoveCBFoods or Pink Apron JA. Thank you guys for watching. This is good.